The roles might have made these actors Hollywood megastars.
The birth from a Aladdin match increased 1,000,000 times. Infinite. No, you don't around with the infinite.
But it wasn't meant to be. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 actors who were fired from blockbuster movies. For this list, we're looking at actors and actresses that were due to star in a big Hollywood production, but were ultimately asked to leave the project.
I think I'm going to have to go on a mission of revenge, and I must beat up the world's face with my bare knuckles, making it a bloody pulpy mess.
Some of them started filming, and others even finished their work before they were shown the door. Whatever the reason, these actors were all kindly, or maybe not so kindly, asked to hit the road.
Get into your fatigues, Mel. By the end of this weekend, you'll quit.
Number 10. Harvey Keitel, Apocalypse Now.
You know what the Queen said? What? My balls, I'd be the king.
Set during the Vietnam War, this movie follows Captain Willard on a covert mission to kill the reportedly crazy Colonel Kurtz.
I was sent on a classified mission.
Adapted from the Joseph Conrad novella Heart of Darkness, the epic war flick became an instant hit. However, the drama on screen couldn't match the drama off of it, as production problems mounted.
Saigon. I'm still only in Saigon.
Not only was there tension between cast members, the director almost reached his breaking point, ultimately having second thoughts about his original leading man just 3 weeks into shooting.
You know, I borrowed money all over this neighborhood, left and right, from everybody, and I never paid them back, so I can't borrow no money from nobody no more, right?
Francis Ford Coppola soon realized that Keitel didn't come across as passive enough for his central character. So, the Mean Streets actor was let go. Martin Sheen, who was the director's top choice to play the lead, was then brought in to save the day.
I'm not presently disposed to discuss those operations.
Number 9. Richard Gere, The Lords of Flatbush.
No, sir. You can kick me out of here, but I ain't quitting.
A movie about teen gangs in 1950s Brooklyn. Think Happy Days crossed with Grease, with a dash of The Warriors thrown in for good measure. But as fraught with conflict as gang life is, this movie had more problems off-screen than on it.
We're sorry. Oh, I bet you are.
Richard Gere was due to join Henry Winkler and Sylvester Stallone as the drama's main street teams. However, Gere just couldn't get along with anyone, Stallone in particular.
I want that ring, Stanley.
I got a ring for you, Fanny. I got a ring for you. Around my bathtub.
They clashed about everything, with Stallone claiming Gere just took himself too seriously. And things finally came to physical blows over a particularly messy chicken sandwich.
Why me? Why did you pick me?
That incident pretty much sealed it for the director, who was forced to choose between his two stars. Stallone stayed, Gere took a hike.
I won't ever forget you, Sergeant.
I know.
Number 8. Anthony Michael Hall, Full Metal Jacket.
Would you mind telling me how you know all this about me?
He made his name as the ultimate 80s teenage geek, but Anthony Michael Hall wanted to break free from typecasting. He was given the opportunity to do that in this Stanley Kubrick war flick.
Those live rounds? .762 millimeter. Full Metal Jacket.
Hall's tough and edgy role in this drama, which focused on U.S. Marines during the Vietnam War, was far removed from his previous work in teen movies like The Breakfast Club and Weird Science.
Nobody can be as uptight as you, okay? Nobody. Your middle name is Tense, okay? Wyatt Tense Up Donnelly.
However, following an 8-month argument with Kubrick, which focused mainly on money matters, Hall was asked to leave the project. His career subsequently took a nosedive, from which he never really recovered.
It's a hardball world, son. We've got to try to keep our heads until this peace craze blows over.
Number 7. Judy Garland, Valley of the Dolls.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Already an icon of the silver screen, thanks largely to her role as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, Judy Garland could seemingly do no wrong. With 2 Academy Award nominations under her belt and an army of adoring fans, Garland was a sure thing at the box office. Or at least she was until the production of Valley of the Dolls.
I never meant to start that climb. I took the first step the day I left New England and headed for New York. It wasn't easy to leave that wonderful old house.
The title of this film is a slang term for drug use, which is fitting as the main character becomes addicted to prescription drugs.
Oh, stoned. I am merely traveling incognito.
In what many see as a case of miserable irony, Garland was actually fired from the movie for not only missing many rehearsals, but also allegedly turning up on set drunk and possibly on drugs.
I told him it was a lie.
Number 6. Mark Salling, Adi Shankar's Gods and Secrets.
What the hell, dude? I can't believe you're helping out this loser.
There are many reasons for an actor to get fired from a film, but few are as serious as those that caused Mark Salling to leave Adi Shankar's Gods and Secrets.
Wheelchair Kid's right. That Rachel chick makes me want to light myself on fire, but she can sing.
The former Glee actor was set to star in this dark reimagining of the superhero genre when he was arrested for possessing indecent images of children. Salling was immediately dismissed from the project, even though he'd begun filming.
Do you want to date again? I was wondering why you invited me here.
Executive producer, director, and story writer Shankar opted to recast Salling's role, paying for reshoots out of his own pocket, and to donate some of the profits from the show to children's charity. As a result, there have been multiple issues surrounding the production, such as when the new release date will be, as well as whether it's actually going to be a film or a miniseries.
How do you think we can get people to see us differently?
I don't know.
Number 5. Megan Fox, Transformers, Dark of the Moon.
This car's a pretty good driver.
Famous as much for her looks as she is for her acting ability, Megan Fox had her first regular role on the sitcom Hope and Faith, before landing her breakout movie role in the first Transformers film.
Oh God, we're gonna die! We're gonna die! We're gonna die! No, we're not! No, we're not gonna die! Oh my God!
When the movie became a box office success, a sequel was planned, and Fox was asked to reprise her part.
What are you doing here, you little freak?
Revenge of the Fallen was another hit, but while shooting the third installment, Fox became angry with director Michael Bay, comparing him to Hitler and Napoleon in a magazine interview. It appears that Bay and executive producer Steven Spielberg didn't appreciate these comments, and Fox was asked to leave, though the actress's rep said she left the project on her own terms. Comparing your director to evil dictators is a surefire way to get replaced.
I love this car.
But you gotta slow it down.
Number 4. Samantha Morton, Her.
The past is just a story we tell ourselves.
When the film you've worked on is finished and in the can, you should be able to sit back and congratulate yourself on a job well done, right? Well, that was not the case for Samantha Morton and the futuristic rom-com Her.
Oh, what do I call you? Do you have a name?
Yes. Samantha.
Really? Where'd you get that name from?
I gave it to myself, actually.
Unlike many actors who are replaced, Morton was a joy to work with and did everything director Spike Jonze asked of her.
She didn't die, but she's not alive.
However, in post-production, Jonze decided that he wanted something else from the character and flew in Scarlett Johansson to redo Samantha's lines.
I never loved anyone the way I love you.
Me too. Now we know how.
The female lead in this movie is an artificial computer, so only the voice needed to be replaced, which was lucky for the director, but not so lucky for Morton.
I hope I shall always be in your heart, sometimes in your thoughts, but never in your debt.
Number 3. Stuart Townsend, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring.
We are the powerful. We are the immortal. We should walk fearless in the open, no?
After being hired to fill the role of Aragorn in the epic fantasy trilogy The Lord of the Rings, Stuart Townsend went all out.
I've lived long enough to see the future become history, Professor. Empires crumble. There are no exceptions.
In preparation for the part, he spent months training with swords and combat. He even learned to ride a horse and studied the mythology of the magical world he was going to inhabit. But the day before principal photography was set to start, director Peter Jackson told Townsend to pack his bags and go home.
What are you?
I'm complicated.
The reason he was fired? Townsend himself claimed Jackson wanted someone older to play the character, but that begs the question of why he was hired in the first place. We'll just chalk it up to that elusive element called creative chemistry.
The One Ring answers to Sauron alone. It has no other master.
Number 2, Eric Stoltz, Back to the Future.
Let's see if you bastards can do 90.
Marty McFly is an icon of cinema. The time-traveling teenager entertained fans with his adventures into the past, no doubt thanks to Michael J. Fox's skillful portrayal.
If you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything.
However, this movie would have been mighty different had Eric Stoltz, the original actor cast as McFly, been allowed to finish it.
Uno dinero.
Though Fox was their first choice for the role, he was unavailable due to his commitment to the sitcom Family Ties. Stoltz had already filmed for about a month when the director and producer realized that Stoltz just wasn't their leading man, and Stoltz agreed.
You just keep talking to her, right? She's getting a shot. I'm gonna go get my little bike medical book.
Fortunately, Fox was able to save the day. Of course, that meant Melora Hardin was also fired from her role as Marty's girlfriend, since she was too tall for Michael J. Fox.
Lois, it's killing us. We have got to release its death grip and free the human spirit.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
See, this isn't a game. You do not send civilian equipment into my active war zone.
He does not operate within any definable branch of government. Iron Man presents a potential threat to the security of both the nation and to her interests.
You may appear to be of humble origins, but my personal historians have discovered that he is descendant from an ancient royal line.
If I had one wish, I would wish to see you again, if only once, before the 5th.
Number 1, James Remar, Aliens.
I'll shove that bat up your ass and turn you into a popsicle.
An underrated character actor who's best known for playing bad guys or supporting roles in TV shows like Sex and the City and Dexter, James Remar never reached movie star status. But things could have been very different had he not been fired from James Cameron's sci-fi sequel, Aliens.
I'd like to keep this handy for close encounters.
Set to play Corporal Hicks, a heroic Marine who battles the alien creatures, Remar was on the path to become an action star when he was canned.
Come on! I got something for you!
The reason behind his dismissal was originally cited as creative differences, but it was later revealed that he and Cameron actually clashed over his erratic behavior and drug abuse.
Anything you need, Dutch.
Yeah, why don't you bring me the moon, Frenchie?
Not wanting to stand for this, the director quickly replaced Remar with Michael Biehn.
Outstanding. All we need is a deck of cards.
Do you agree with our list? Are there any other actors fired from a film that are worth a mention? For more entertaining top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
But just the same, all I kept saying to everybody was I want to go home. And they sent me home.